Okay, let's talk about Icarus. We all know the story, right? The kid with the wax wings flew too close to the sun and boom, splash. For centuries, it's been the go-to story about the dangers of flying too high. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if this story isn't a warning at all? Today, we're diving into a completely different take on this ancient myth. And that's really the question, isn't it? Was Icarus just a reckless kid who didn't listen to his dad? Or was he something else entirely? A pioneer, maybe. Someone pushing the absolute limits of what's possible, even if it came at the ultimate price. This new parable flips the script on everything we thought we knew. So, the classic version we all learned is pretty straightforward. Daedalus, the genius inventor, tells his son, hey, fly the middle way. Not too low, not too high. But Icarus, being young and full of himself, goes for the sun and pays the price. The moral of the story? Listen to your elders, know your limits, don't reach for the stars. But get this new interpretation takes that core lesson and just shatters it. This quote right here turns the whole thing on its head. It argues that the safe path, that middle way, isn't wisdom at all. It's a prison. Yeah, a beautiful, gilded cage, but a prison nonetheless, designed to keep our true potential locked up.
You see, in this version, Icarus wasn't just escaping an island. He was escaping a mindset. He was saying no to what this parable calls the stagnant complacency of just staying on the ground. The real prison wasn't the island of Crete. It was the fear of striving, the fear of greatness. His flight becomes this incredible act of rebellion against just being average.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. You've got two completely different ways of living. On the left, that's the world of the last man. It's all about playing it safe, just surviving. It's stable, sure, but nothing ever grows. It's arrested development. And on the right, that's the hero's path. That's Icarus's path. It's about overcoming yourself, chasing authentic experiences, and claiming your own autonomy. Now, to really get this, we have to understand this idea of the last man. It's a way of thinking that values comfort and security above everything else. The last man has no desire to risk anything for greatness. So from that perspective, Icarus's flight looks like pure, senseless ruin. But from the hero's point of view, it's the only way to actually be alive. So, let's look at Icarus through this new lens. His flight isn't an act of teenage rebellion anymore. It's this deep, profound quest for self-actualization. He's not just a kid ignoring his dad. He's a creator, breaking free from the psychological chains put on him by a world that's ruled by fear. This phrase absolutely nails it. Flying toward the sun is Icarus taking the controls of his own life. It's him shouting to the heavens, I will decide my own limits. I will discover what I'm capable of. It's the ultimate act of freedom. And in doing that, he doesn't just break the old rules. He forges a whole new set of values. It's not about obedience and caution anymore. Look at these: innovation, resilience, having the guts to defy what everyone tells you is the limit. And maybe most importantly, finding that pure, unalloyed joy that you can only get from the struggle itself.
So, did he fail? Well, according to this parable, not a chance. He absolutely succeeded. Why? Because he achieved this incredible, ecstatic moment of self-realization that was totally impossible back in that gilded cage. His goal wasn't just to get from point A to point B. It was to live completely. And by that standard, his flight was a massive success.
Okay, now this is where the whole idea gets really interesting. What about the fall, the crash and burn? In this version, the fall isn't the tragic end. It's the most important part of the process. It's not ruin, it's alchemy. Think about an alchemist for a second. If you want to turn lead into gold, you can't just polish it. You have to put it in the fire. You have to melt it down, completely destroy its original form. The fall, that's the fire. It's that catalytic event that breaks down all the old stuff so that something new, something far more valuable, can be created. And this breaks down that whole process perfectly. Step 1, you've got your base material, human potential, but it's held back by fear. Step 2 is the fire, that magnificent, beautiful risk Icarus takes. Step 3 is the transformation itself, the fall, where everything breaks apart. And the result, step 4, gold. Not just personal triumph, but indispensable data for the rest of humanity to learn from. I just love this metaphor. The fall is a lightning bolt. You know how we all build these hardened husks around ourselves? Shells made of fear, routine, and what other people tell us we can and can't do. Well, it takes something powerful, a lightning bolt, a magnificent risk, to crack those husks open and let us actually grow. So, at the end of the day, what is the legacy of this new Icarus? It's not a tragedy.
It's a story of ascendant success. By pushing himself to the absolute edge, he gives all of us the data we need. He shows us where the limits are so that the next person can build better wings and fly even higher. He paves the way.
And there it is, the whole narrative, completely transformed. What the cautious, last man perspective sees as nothing but senseless ruin, the heroic spirit sees as ascendant success. It's a total 180, from a story that warns us against dreaming big to one that celebrates it as the most important thing we can do.
And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question. Because this story isn't just about some kid with wax wings. It's a mirror. It's asking us to look at our own lives and ask, what are my hardened husks? What are the gilded cages I've built for myself? And what magnificent risk, what flight toward my own sun is the lightning bolt I need to finally crack them open?